Welcome to the Growing Tall Poppies podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Nat Green, and I'm so excited to have you join me as we discuss what it means to navigate your way through post-traumatic growth and not just survive, but to thrive after trauma. Through our podcast, we will explore ways for you to create a life filled with greater purpose, self-awareness, and a deep inner peace. Through integrating the many years of knowledge and professional experience, as well as the wisdom of those who have experienced trauma firsthand, we will combine psychology, accelerated approaches, coaching, and personal experience to assist you to learn, to grow, and to thrive. I hope to empower you to create deeper awareness and understanding and stronger connections with yourself and with others, whilst also paving the way for those who have experienced trauma and adversity to reduce their suffering and become the very best versions of themselves in order to thrive. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Welcome back to Growing Tall Poppies, the podcast where we explore the powerful journey of post-traumatic growth. I'm your host, Dr. Nat Green, and today we're continuing our Trauma Archetype series with one of my absolute favourite archetypes, the Empowered Trailblazer. If you've been following this series, you know we're exploring 7 unique trauma archetypes of transformation that can reveal the hidden strengths that trauma has forged within us. Today, we're spotlighting the Empowered Trailblazer. This archetype is all about breaking boundaries, leading the way, and turning pain into purposeful action. If you've ever felt driven to create change, even when it seemed impossible, then the Empowered Trailblazer might just be your kindred spirit. If you've ever felt that spark inside you that pushes you to break boundaries, create new paths, and inspire those around you, then you may resonate really deeply with this archetype. But like all things, there's a balance. So let's explore who the Empowered Trailblazer is, their incredible strengths, as well as the challenges they face, and look at how they can thrive in a sustainable and meaningful way. With great power comes great responsibility, especially when trauma has shaped our need to keep moving forward. So let's dive in and discover how to harness the strengths of the Empowered Trailblazer and how we can help bring them to life. So who exactly is the Empowered Trailblazer? At their core, Trailblazers are natural leaders and visionaries. They're the kind of people who see beyond the limits and possibilities that constrain the majority of others. They have an unstoppable energy and a fierce determination to push forward, not just for themselves, but for those around them. Trailblazers are driven by a sense of purpose and a deep-seated need to make an impact. They feel compelled to create change, whether it's starting a new project, advocating for a cause, or inspiring a community. They are the people you see paving new paths, often with a spark of charisma and an infectious belief that the world can be a better place. But where does this drive come from? Often the Empowered Trailblazer has experienced trauma that left them feeling powerless or voiceless. Their fierce determination to keep moving forward can be both a strength and a defense mechanism. And it's this complex relationship between power and vulnerability that defines the Empowered Trailblazer's journey. The Empowered Trailblazer is a force to be reckoned with. They are innovators, leaders, and visionaries. This archetype embodies courage, boldness, and a pioneering spirit. The Trailblazer doesn't just dream about the future. They actively carve out a path to make it happen, often inspiring others to follow their lead. If this resonates with you, you might be someone who's never satisfied with the status quo and who craves growth and forward momentum. But just like any archetype shaped by trauma, the empowered trailblazer also has challenges to navigate. Often the drive to push forward can be a response to feeling unsafe or powerless in the past. We'll talk more about that later, but first, let's explore the incredible strengths that this archetype holds. When the empowered trailblazer is in alignment, they are magnetic leaders. They possess a natural confidence that encourages others to take action and believe in their dreams. So here are some of the key strengths of the trailblazer archetype. So number one is visionary leadership. Trailblazers are big picture thinkers. They see possibilities where others see roadblocks and can inspire others to believe in these possibilities too. If you're a trailblazer, your visions are what drive change and innovation. Number two, courageous action. Where others might hesitate, the empowered trailblazer takes action. Even when fear is present, they feel the fear and they do it anyway, carving new paths and venturing into the unknown. Number three, resilient determination. Trailblazers have an unshakable determination. When they set their mind to something, they persevere despite whatever obstacles are thrown in their way. This strength is forged through the fire of past challenges, making them unstoppable when they truly believe in their mission. And these strengths can truly be transformative, not just for the trailblazer, but for everyone they touch along the way. But as you may already know, strengths can become weaknesses when taken to the extreme. So let's explore how the empowered trailblazer can harness their gifts without burning out or running from their past trauma. Here are some practical tips to enable you to tap into your trailblazer strengths in a way that's balanced and sustainable. Firstly, balance vision with self-care. Trailblazers, you're known for your bold visions and relentless pursuit of goals. But to keep leading the charge, you need to care for yourself first. Build regular self-care practices into your routine, even if it's a short walk in nature, somewhere that you love being, taking in everything around you and really being present or in a moment of mindfulness. Because remember, a burnt out trailblazer can't lead effectively. And secondly, pause and reflect. It's really easy for trailblazers to become so focused on the future that they neglect the present. Take time to pause and to celebrate how far you've come. Reflect on your wins, big or small, and notice the progress you've made. This reflection not only fuels gratitude, but also keeps you really grounded. And thirdly, and really importantly, ask for support. You're used to being the trail setter, but even the most powerful leaders need support. Don't be afraid to lean on trusted friends, mentors, or therapists. Letting others in truly isn't a sign of weakness. It's actually an act of strength. The most resilient leaders really know how to surround themselves with the right people. So incorporating these practices helps to ensure that your pioneering energy remains a force for good rather than a source of burnout or isolation. Now let's talk about some common challenges that the empowered trailblazer faces. While their strengths make them incredibly dynamic and influential, there are pitfalls that can arise, especially when trauma has shaped their worldview. Number one is overworking, perfectionism, and burnout. Trailblazers often feel like they can't stop or slow down, as if pausing would mean losing momentum or feeling vulnerable. The drive to prove yourself can be a trauma response, where you're always pushing harder, working longer, and aiming for perfection. Watch out for signs of burnout and remind yourself that rest is essential, not a luxury. This relentless push to keep moving can lead you to physical and emotional exhaustion. And it's not uncommon for trailblazers to burn the candle at both ends, only to find themselves completely drained. Number two is a real fear of vulnerability. Many trailblazers feel that they must always appear strong and in control, that vulnerability can feel like a threat, so they avoid showing weakness or asking for help. And this fear, of course, often stems from a time in their past when vulnerability led them to pain or disappointment. Trailblazers often feel they need to have all the answers and be strong for everyone else. But true leadership involves showing real vulnerability. Don't be afraid to share your struggles and seek connection. It's actually what makes you relatable and human. Number three, difficulty slowing down. Action feels safe for a trailblazer. Being still can feel uncomfortable because action feels much safer. But stillness is where you can hear your inner wisdom and recharge your energy. Stillness can feel frightening. The idea of slowing down or resting may trigger feelings of guilt or anxiety, making it difficult for them to be present or mindful. Practice moments of stillness, even if it's just a minute each day. And number four, impatience and frustration. When trailblazers encounter obstacles, they can become really easily frustrated, especially if progress feels slow or out of their control. Their passion for growth and change can sometimes make it hard for them to accept delays or setbacks. So how can the empowered trailblazer harness their strengths while managing these challenges? Here are some strategies tailored directly to this archetype. So if you feel that you're an empowered trailblazer, then firstly, practice mindful pausing. Trailblazers, taking time to pause doesn't mean you're losing momentum. Mindful pausing can be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths, journaling for 5 minutes, or setting aside time each week just to reflect on your accomplishments. It's in these pauses that you can reconnect with your inner wisdom and prevent burnout. Secondly, schedule rest as a priority. Make rest your non-negotiable. Put it on your calendar like you would a meeting or a deadline, whether it's getting enough sleep, enjoying a hobby, or spending time in nature. Prioritize activities that replenish your energy, whatever that is for you. Remember, rest actually fuels productivity in the long run. And thirdly, embrace vulnerability. Challenge yourself to open up to a trusted friend or a therapist. Start small. Share a struggle, express your fears, or ask for help when you need it. Vulnerability really is not a weakness. It's actually the key to deeper connections and a more authentic life. Fourthly, celebrate progress, not perfection. Trailblazers can be so focused on the future that they forget to acknowledge how far they've actually come. So take time to celebrate progress, even if it's not perfect. Reflect on the obstacles you've overcome and really give yourself credit for your resilience and your courage along the way. And fifthly, set boundaries around your work. You're really going to need this one. Learn to recognize when your drive becomes overdrive. Setting boundaries around work and commitments can help you create a sustainable pace. Remember, saying no to one thing often means saying yes to your well-being. To illustrate the empowered trailblazer, let me share a story about someone who fully embodies this archetype. This story highlights how the trailblazer's journey shows up. Let me introduce you to Sarah. Now, Sarah is the epitome of an empowered trailblazer. After surviving a devastating car accident, she felt a strong pull to use her experience to help others. She became a passionate advocate for road safety, launching a campaign to raise awareness about the dangers of distracted driving. Sarah's courage and leadership quickly gained attention, and before she knew it, she found herself at the forefront of a movement that was saving lives. But as Sarah's campaign grew, so did her responsibilities. She was constantly on the go, busy, organising events, speaking at schools, and managing a growing team of volunteers as she increased her reach. Eventually, Sarah began to feel the effects of burnout. She was exhausted, emotionally drained, and struggling to keep up with the demands of her role. She felt torn between her mission and the need for taking care of herself. Recognising the need for balance, Sarah made a conscious decision to scale back her commitments, to slow down and focus on what mattered most, and prioritise her well-being. She started delegating tasks to her team, set boundaries around her time and her work, and incorporated regular self-care practices like yoga and meditation into her routine. By finding a balance between action and rest, Sarah was able to sustain her energy and continue leading with passion and purpose. As a result, things gradually improved, and Sarah was able to continue leading her campaign with renewed energy and focus. By taking care of herself, she became an even stronger leader. Her impact expanded and her mission became a reality. Through her vulnerability, Sarah connected far more deeply with her team and her audience, fostering a sense of community that made her movement even more impactful. Today, Sarah continues to forge new paths, creating lasting change while staying grounded in her self-care and her sense of purpose. So, my fellow empowered trailblazers, I hope this episode has helped you understand and celebrate your unique strengths. Remember, you are a visionary leader capable of transforming your past pain into purposeful action. The empowered trailblazer is a powerful force for change. Your courage and vision can transform not only your life, but also the lives of others. So keep harnessing that energy. But remember, even the most powerful trailblazer needs to rest, to reflect, and connect with their inner self to keep blazing a sustainable path. So pause, reflect, and care for your well-being along the way. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the trauma archetypes, then I've developed a quiz that you can take to find out which archetype you're embodying right now. And I also have some tips and strategies specific to each of the archetypes to help you grow and evolve on your healing journey. These tools are designed to help you tap into your strengths, overcome your challenges, and step fully into your post-traumatic growth. I'll post the link in the show notes for you to go and check out the quiz. I'm so excited that this has finally come to life after all this time of dreaming that it may be a possibility at some point. It's now available, and as I said, the link will be in the show notes, and I would love for you to go over, check out the quiz, and reveal which archetype you are resonating with right now. And I would also love to hear your thoughts or personal experiences if this episode resonated with you as an empowered trailblazer. Connect with me on social media or drop a review wherever you listen to this podcast. And stay tuned for our next mini episode where we'll explore another incredible trauma archetype, the reflective orchestrator. Until then, keep growing, keep standing tall like the poppy you were always meant to be, and blazing your own trails. Thanks for tuning in to Growing Tall Poppies. I'm Dr. Nat Green, and remember, growth is always possible, even after trauma. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Growing Tall Poppies. It is my deepest hope that today's episode may have inspired and empowered you to step fully into your post-traumatic growth so that you can have absolute clarity around who you are, what matters the most to you, and to assist you to release your negative emotions and regulate your nervous system so you can fully thrive. New episodes are published every Tuesday, and I hope you'll continue to join us as we explore both the strategies and the personal qualities required to fully live a life of post-traumatic growth and to thrive. So if it feels aligned to you and really resonates, then I invite you to hit subscribe, and it would mean the world to us if you could share this episode with others who you feel may benefit too. You may also find me on Instagram at Growing Tall Poppies and Facebook, Dr. Natalie Green. Remember, every moment is an opportunity to look for the lessons and to learn and increase your ability to live the life you desire and deserve. So for now, stay connected, stay inspired, stand tall like the tall poppy you are, and keep shining your light brightly in the world. Bye for now.